So how do you find the motivation when you feel like you have none? It's a question that I think we all will answer multiple times in our life. And so with that being said, if you've ever felt like, man, I'm typically the motivator, but now I need some motivation, or you've been working on something for so long and you're like, kind of stuck in the middle and you don't have your mojo, so to speak, and you're trying to figure out, where do I find, the love for this job again, or how do I, I just feel disconnected from what I do, and I know it does well. I'm doing fine, but I just don't have the motivation. Then I want to offer you 3 things that you can do in order to be able to gain the motivation that you need in order to continue to live out your dreams. So the first thing that you can do in order to gain that motivation is, number 1, I want you to remember your why. Yes, a lot of times what happens is as we start a new project or new things come into our lives, or whether you're just getting married, or maybe you just, started a new job, or maybe you're an entrepreneur, and we were so passionate when we started out. And somewhere in the middle, just between all of the things that have to happen, it starts to kind of dwindle on us. And it's not that it's completely gone out. It's just like, man, I really need some motivation. And a lot of it is because we've forgotten our why. So what I want to encourage you to do is to think about, why did you start what you did from the beginning? Why did you start that business? Why did you decide to follow that particular career choice? Why do you love your kids? But I really want you to think about your why, because your why is very important. And it's important because there's an equation that I like to talk about. I'm going to share it with you, called the understanding equation. The understanding equation works like this: why plus what equals understanding, or probably I should do it your way. Why plus what equals understanding. And so here's how it works. If you know your why, then you know what you're doing, and it'll help create understanding, not only for yourself, but for those when they ask you about it. So let's just say, for example, you're making a change in your life, and you need to make that change, and so you start doing it, but then all of a sudden everybody around you starts asking a lot of questions, and they're like, well, why did you start doing that? Well, we don't see you over here anymore. Or, within the company, you're making different changes and people don't really understand. The only reason why they don't understand is because you never gave them the why first. So I want to encourage you today to truly think about, what is my why? Why do I do what I do? What is the purpose behind these things? And when you can answer why, you know your what. And you see this all the time all around you. I mean, you look at marketing. Most products nowadays, companies have figured out, you don't talk about the features and benefits. What you do show is you show why this product is important and how it can be leveraged and used in your everyday life. They give you the why. You know what the product is. It's the same thing that Apple does with their phones. They don't tell you about the phone as much as they also show you how it works in your everyday life. The person who's running, the person who's a doctor and needs to be able to review a document, or all of these different things. They're giving you the why. Because once you understand why and you have your what, it creates understanding for yourself and other people. And you can always point back to your why, no matter where you are. And anytime when you look at the word understand, in the middle of that is stand. When you have that why and you understand your what, it helps you to have something to stand on when time gets tough. Number 2 is really, really simple. Number 2 thing that you can do to really be able to regain your motivation is you want to start thinking about goal setting. A lot of times what happens is that we're achieving so many different things and we kind of get complacent in our goals. We get comfortable with whatever income we're making, or we get comfortable with whatever that particular thing has done for us, and we stop really dreaming big. We stop setting goals that are really, really high. Like, think outside of what you can achieve, and think about what if I achieved this, what would it allow me to do? And so I really want you to think about, what goals could I begin to set? What way out there ideas could I begin to look at when it comes to my business, or the thing that I'm working on, or even within my family? What thing can we do as a goal and how can we really think audaciously and say, we're gonna reach that goal? And maybe yours is weight loss. You know, the seasons are changing and you're thinking about, yeah, I wanna make sure that I lose that weight and really do the diet. Well, you could say, well, I'm just gonna drop 5 pounds. You know, well, okay, you could drop 5 pounds, but what if you said that by the end of the year, I wanna drop 30 pounds, you know? And what is it gonna take for you to get there? You know, so I really want you to think about, don't just set the goal, but then think about, backtrace, what is it gonna take for me to get there on that day from where I am today? What changes do I need to make? And that'll really be able to help you get motivated, because sometimes we just need something to fight for. And once you understand your why and you set goals, it'll definitely help you to be able to do it. Number 3 thing that you can do to regain your motivation is to take time away from what you're doing. I know you was hoping for some big bomb revelation, but to be honest, sometimes we're so focused on what we're focused on that we need to sometimes unfocus on it and go do something else. You know, if you work, on a particular project and you're so ingrained and you're so, all your thought, mind, and energy is into it, you're dreaming even about the project, sometimes take a break, go do something else. If you're in the middle of of something that you need to get done and, your brain kind of just can't seem to stay focused, it's because it's time for you to get up and walk away. Your brain can only stay focused on certain things per research for a very short amount of time. So don't get mad at yourself and beat yourself over the head because, I didn't stay focused on that for the last 3 hours. Well, I'm sorry, but no one even is really paying attention into a movie that typically is about an 1.5 to 2 hour movie. So don't get mad just because you didn't sit there for 3 hours and do whatever the thing is and start beating yourself up. It's okay. But what you got to start to do is really just stop and say, okay, let me put this down and I'm going to go and take a walk, or I'm going to go and, entertain myself through a book or, whatever the case may be, but get some time to relax. Let your brain decompress, because when you do that, then it's helping you to rebuild your energy so that you can go back in with fresh eyes and a fresh start. When you apply these things, the 3 things that I gave you to regain the motivation to your life, when you really begin to apply them, that's the real power. And anytime that you have that power, it's going to help you point the way forward. Hey, did you like that video? I hope you did. If you did, please leave comments down below. Tell me what you thought about it. Tell me what stood out to you. More importantly, if you would and want more information about this and other things that I talk about, or you want to submit different ideas, please feel free to email me at chris@thechristopherwilliams.com. Also subscribe below so that you can continue to get weekly content like this. And I hope that you make forward progress, the most important part to your day. Take care.